Welcome back. We are now into Season 6. Start off, first games have been played. I'm going to introduce you guys to the teams, as well as being the reigning champion of Season 5, as well as the casual top scorer and, not to brag, but top Kaz as well. We'll see who'll be fighting for these bad boys. Not these specifically, but ones I'll make. The coming season. So, I'm going to first take you through the fixtures that have been played. Then I'm going to show you the league table. Stats so far for the first games that are played, which should look a little simple, but show you anyway. I'm going to come back for fixtures of round 2. So, starting with the first team, which is the Crimson Heat versus Patchwork for a Paycheck. Crimson Heat is a skink-only team being run by a returning player from Season 4. That is Lee, who came in versus Sam, a perennial snotling player who's actually chosen Old World Alliance for this season. I think that choice has paid dividends, as it was a crushing 2-0 defeat on touchdown, 2-1 on casualties, with a completion either side. Unfortunately for Sam, not picking up any bonus points, 1 touchdown off, 1 Kaz off, and with clean sheet, that is cinched. So as you can see, Manfred and Mike Hunt picked up the touchdowns. Crimson Heat picked up casualties. Blink got himself a little Kaz, and then Human and Dexterous of Patchwork for a Paycheck got 2 casualties. Completions were by Dion and Dexterous. The other thing is that I've been mentioning, last season we ran ELO rankings to basically have a permanent league ranking system for coaches that are playing in this season and are not, and it counts for every season going forward. These rankings were started last season, so the starting ELO rankings are a little different. They're not at the 1,000 starting point, but as you can see from this match, the Crimson Heat, who did start on 1,000, along with 2 other coaches, one hasn't played yet, and I'll get to the other one in a minute. They lost 11 ELO points, taking themselves to 989, and then Patrick for a Paycheck gained 11 points, taking themselves to 76. Those Snotlings didn't pay off too. Now, let's take it into the next match, shall we? Which was the Neighborhood Watch Alliance, which is Liam's, the league runner-up from last season, his Gnome team versus a Season 1 return team, a redrafted The Mad Cows of Stuart, who brought back his Chaos Chosen. Old teams, not good teams in this situation, where they lost 2-1 on casualties, but picked up 3 casualties and 3 completions. The Neighborhood Watch Alliance. Unfortunately, there is no bonus points for completions. Soz. But Eve Draper and Simon Skinner picked up the touchdowns for the Neighborhood Watch Alliance, and Sirloin Jr., the Mad Cows, picked up the touchdown. Danny Bottom picked himself up a casualty, but was outshone by Flank Jr., who picked himself up twice. Nicholas Angel, though, did follow up with 3 whole-ass completions, meaning that the ELO rankings for these teams are now as follows. Neighborhood Watch Alliance gained themselves for Liam 10 points, the Mad Cows losing 10 points, leaving Liam on 996.6 and the Mad Cows on 975. Next team we go to is the Greg's Gremlins versus the Dunno D Dinos. The Dunno D Dinos are the second of the 3 new players to the league, new to the ELO and new entirely to the league. Lee is a returning player. As you can see, the ELO rankings were in his favor, as he's playing Lizardmen versus the Greg's Gremlins Halflings. It was a 3-0 victory to the Dunno D Dinos, 2-0 on casualty, so unfortunately he was 1 Kaz away from getting full points in his first match. However, it was 2-1 on completions, but those don't count for points, just SPP. So Barbecue picked himself up 3 touchdowns, Rue and Crikey picked up 1 Kaz each, and completions were by Rue, Ozzy, and for Greg Gremlins, Big Greg. with a change of 11.6 on the ELO, because Lewis had the second highest ELO as of the end of last season behind me, putting himself on 1,044.6, and the Dunno D9 going up to 1,011.6. I will show you guys the other match that is yet to be played is by an entirely new person to the league. Face Fist is an orc team being run by Martin, and the Lucky Raiders is not a returning team, but the same race team, an orc team being run by Tom. I had the week off this week because we only have 9 players in this league. It's okay. I'm now going to take you guys to the league table. There is not too much to talk about because we are so early in the league. As you can see, only like 6 teams have played. I haven't played, Martin hasn't played, Tom hasn't played. But early doors, we have the Dunno Dinos in first place with 9 points. Patchwork for a Paycheck in second place with 7 points. Neighborhood Watch Alliance in third with 3 points. And then the Mad Cows in fourth, Crimson Heat in fifth, the Great Gremlins in sixth. And then the last teams are all in alphabetical order due to no splits. So obviously, Tom, Martin, and me propping up the table. Get to play. Again, I'll take you through the stats. There's not going to be too much to talk about because all of the stats are as you see. So, at the top of the score charts, we have Barbecue because he scored 3 touchdowns in his first game. And then 5 other scorers in Eve Draper, Manfred, Mike Hunt, Simon Skiller, and Sirloin Jr. A surprisingly early doors amount of completions being made in Nicholas Angel holding up that table with 3. And then Ozzy, Big Greg, Theon, Dexterous, and Rue all with. And again, similar scenes. Every table at the minute is being held by 1 player doing 3. Plank Jr. with 3 casualties, and then Blink, Danny Butterman, Dexterous, Human, Crikey, and Rue all with. Very good. I think you guys now are going to want to know. We know who's played in these first games. Surely we're going to want to know who's in the next games, and certainly right. So these are the next fixtures for round 2. I will preemptively say that Sam, your Patchwork for a Paycheck team, is having the week off, and the matches are going to be as follows. It is going to be the Wolves AoE. This is the FaZe Fists. My Wolves AoE team is a High Elf team, by the way, going up against an Orc team that should, by this point, have played its game against Tom. We then go across. Haven't put enough laps on. I will. Did I put 5? Give me just a moment. For some reason, yeah, I have to do this just to get across fully. There we go. I have to put like extra lines on because it won't let me scroll. I'm using cheats. Oh, can't see. So, the next team is the Mad Cows versus the Crimson Heat. That will be Stuart versus Lee. Next is the Dunno Dinos versus the Neighborhood Alliance. That will be Jared versus Liam. And finally, this will be an interesting match. The Lucky Raiders versus the Great Gremlins. That is Tom versus Lewis. Predictions? As much as Lewis is a good player, I did a test game against Tom because his game was obviously postponed due to just outside issues. My Wolves AoE team played a friendly against the Lucky Raiders, and it hurts. And I've got good armor. Halflings, not so much. I predict a win through attrition. We go here to the Dunno Dinos versus the Neighborhood Watch. This will be an interesting game because Jared's surprisingly good, and Liam is as well, but it's a new team for Liam. I would dare say 2-2. 2-2 draw. Mad Cows versus the Crimson Heat. Fortunately, I would expect Lee to take a pummeling here, as he's still trying to figure out how to best use the Skink team. He's admitted in the group chat that we've got that it's a fun team, but it's... Oh. And with the Wolves AoE versus the FaZe Fist. And not to toot my own horn, but I predict an astounding victory for my show. Not as the league commentator or the league commissioner, but just as the best E-load player in the league and just all around the boss. I'm sure mine will have a few words to say about that, but let's see. Take care, guys. I will see you when there are more matches to report. Probably most likely following the round 2 of fixtures and updating you for that missing fixture from round 1. Good luck. Goodbye.